No a keďže my máme takéto úspešné príbehy veľmi radi, tak máme v talóne ešte ďalšie pre vás. V nasledujúcich minútach sa budeme rozprávať o tom, aké faktory vlastne rozhodujú o tom, že na východe Slovenska budú fungovať investície, aké to má dopady a ďalšie implikácie, ktoré tieto investičné projekty prinesú pre ďalší spoločenský a ekonomický rozvoj regiónu. Tak o tom nám povie ďalšia skupina veľmi fundovaných pánov a medzi nimi znova aj Bjorn, ktorý má zaujímavé postrehy. Tak ja poprosím moderátora Mareka Kopanického, ktorý je senior konzultant odboru investičných projektov Slovenskej agentúry pre rozvoj investícií a obchodu a ten vám už predstaví svojich hostí. Takže nech sa páči. Máme ho tu? Marek Kopanický? Nech sa páči, už sa chystá pódium a vy máte priestor, aby ste predstavili aj svojich hostí a možno aj témy, ktoré budete rozoberať. A ja si ešte dovolím, kým sa budete spoločne usádzať, pripomenúť našemu publiku, že s hostiami môžete diskutovať. Opäť zopakujem, navštívte stránku na svojich mobilných telefónoch www.slovakiatech.sk, vyhľadajte si sekciu otázky, zvolte správny stage z týchto troch, my sa voláme Volvo Car Stage, a môžete diskutovať alebo zapojiť sa svojimi postrehmi, ale najmä otázkami s týmito fundovanými pánmi. Nech sa páči, je to vaše.
Ďakujem veľmi pekne, všetko funguje. We will switch into English in a few seconds or minutes, but we will wait also for several people to leave the room. And yes, it was said, I will use this intro to present myself and the background of this panel discussion and also of my distinguished guests. So as said, my name is Marek Kopanický, I'm from SARIO, and I'll be moderator of this 45 minutes long panel discussion. Before coming to the discussion itself, let me briefly mention that SARIO is one of the main partners of Slovakia Tech 2023, as it was last year, when I also had an honor to lead a panel discussion with a very similar title and similar content, but obviously different guests. It was partially about Volvo, and today it will be even more about Volvo cars. For those who don't know, SARIO, Slovak Investment and Trade Development Agency, investment services main goal is to attract and promote investments and foreign direct investments to come to Slovakia and to promote them here in Slovakia, new companies, established companies and investors, and we want to direct them mostly to the less developed regions, to the central Slovakia, or obviously to eastern Slovakia. As you all know, investment environment of Eastern Slovakia is pretty dynamic recently, unsurprisingly, mostly thanks to the Volvo Cars investment, but not only thanks to them. And I would like to also, in my words, thank you, Bjorn and Per, for excellent presentation we just heard. However, not only Volvo, but also other often smaller and maybe less known companies are coming to Slovakia, are expanding here in Slovakia, and therefore let me welcome among us also Yuri Suchový, who is head of EPAM Systems, Czech Republic and Slovakia. Great. So Bjorn just ended his presentation, so I will give you some rest
Yes.
and a few minutes to drink water, and I will start with Yuri. But before that, let me also remind you this possibility to write your questions to my distinguished panelists, and we will come to these questions later on during this panel discussion. So Yuri, in EPAM Systems, you started as a project manager in Ukraine around a decade ago, and now you serve as a country head of Czech Republic and Slovakia, where you ensure leadership in driving strategic initiatives, delivery management of various transformative projects. To start globally, Internet says that EPAM is a leading digital transition service and product engineering company with almost 60,000 employees globally. What is, I think, even maybe more than Volvo Cars, if I saw that. properly on the slide. In more than 50 territories, you are listed on the New York Stock Exchange, so you are really excellent and global great company. However, in Slovakia, maybe not that well known. So how it happened that you are here, and please tell us more about your personal story in EPAM as well.
Thanks for the introduction, and definitely EPAM has been stopped in 1993 by school friends Arkady Dobkin and Leo Lozner. The headquarters now in the USA, and Slovakia was a strategic plan for us as the other regions. So we have did the great job to plan how we can integrate our global businesses with the local environment. So this move is more for a long run rather than short, and the idea to integrate the local business, the global business inside the country brings the big plans for us. In the internet, that's true. We are recognized as the fastest growing companies 100 by Fortune in 2015, I think, 19, 21. And still we continue to invest in clients, people, technology. We have selected Slovakia for the region to expand our presence on the global markets and support the clients on their local environments as well.
And when you will we will all together look even closer to your local presence in Czech Republic, but mostly here in Slovakia. I know that you have at least 2 branches here in Bratislava, and there is also office in Košice. So how many employees are working here, and what roles and what competencies do your IT experts have here?
Yeah, IT world gives us this great flexibility to work remotely, to work from the locations we would prefer, where we feel better. And physical offices we have in Košice and Bratislava, but we have people across all the region. We don't motivate people to be in the office full time, but sometimes it's needed to meet the team. So our presence will be continue to grow in Bratislava and Košice as the main target locations, and same we will continue to allow our employees to use this great opportunity to work with the other regions of Slovakia. So this brings the benefit not only for EPAM, but same for Slovakia as the country, and it brings the diversity in the economics growth, gives flexibility for the professionals to join one or another domain or business. If we discuss how it's distributed in the technology side or domains, we serve for technology transformation in digital services. Definitely in Slovakia, we have automotive businesses, healthcare, financial services. We support the big global companies that expand their business, and we support them in their new locations, same with our new locations. This is kind of, I would say, interesting journey usually for us and the client together. So our employees here, they're designers, they're architects, they're consultants, business analysts, they're cloud experts, and of course, one of the strategic, I have a few guys from my team here, they may confirm, is that development of the data and the high performance calculation solutions is one of our strategic in Slovakia as well. So if we discuss more about the diversity in that area, is that our seniority index is very high in Slovakia. So we have this natural growth here when we build the strong senior teams to support our clients' needs and the growth of our business locally as well.
Great. Many thanks, Yuri, and for these very positive words about our country and about your operations here in Slovakia. As you all know, I didn't mention that the name or the title of this panel discussion is the successful or stories of successful foreign investments in Slovakia. Bjorn already rested and we can go, yeah. Great.
Yes.
always. It was pretty tough morning for you here, coming from one stage to another.
Yeah,
and I mean, if I may start personally, We have met several times, even before the decision of Volvo Cars was announced in July 2022. And maybe also other people here in the audience would be interested to get you know more, because you are a pretty prominent person in Slovak industrial and the business environment already as a head of Volvo Cars Košice. And you have brought managerial experience from R&D, production, quality management, but for how long you already work for Volvo Cars? Do you remember?
Yes, I actually checked the other day, and it's now 27 years actually. When you say it yourself, you feel, what happened? What?
I'm 28.
Yeah. So of course you can always ask yourself, why do you stay with the company for 27 years, and how does those years just pass by so quickly? And I guess in many ways working for an international global company, that gives a lot of opportunities. So even if I worked 27 years for Volvo Cars, I don't feel like I've had one job. It's an opportunity, if you take the opportunity, of course, to do different things. And I've had, as you mentioned in the beginning, I've been able to work I started in R&D 1996, had different managerial positions there, working especially with exterior engineering and design. I had the opportunity to move to Belgium, and I was heading up our medium cars platform, all the cars that were in running production, which gave me then an opportunity to learn more about production, because we were sitting inside our Belgian manufacturing facility. And also that being the cars in the market, not just the ones that are supposed to be coming out in a year or a few, that gave me also a huge insight in the market situation and the service for all our cars, which was very exciting. And I guess that also brought me into then coming back from Belgium. I started within procurement, and I started working with suppliers. So I worked with supplier quality, and I was responsible for all the material coming into all our plants around the globe, making sure that they came in with the right quality. And I think more and more I started to be interested in the production part, and then I ended up also in our Göteborg facility to be the quality director when we launched the SPA platform, which is where most of the cars that you see on the roads today are from. And then from there, I became the shop manager of the paint shop, so I was responsible for that. And so then the years passed by. It's 27 years.
Yeah, I can imagine. Great. Now coming to the closer past, but still to the past. I remember, as I indicated already, from the initial negotiations between the Slovak Republic, SARIO, Ministry of Economics, and Volvo Cars. Large negotiating team, and in winter 2021, then spring 2022, and you've been several times repeatedly here in Košice during these negotiations. And I remember we tried to present you Slovakia and Eastern Slovakia in the best possible way in different streams of communication when it comes to HR, or technical infrastructure, then logistics, energy, and many other topics, really huge negotiations. And now, looking back, if you have some time to look back, how do you recall and remember these weeks and these months before the official decision was made?
Yeah, I remember them as being very excited. Hadn't been so long in the project when we came into that phase, and there was a lot of things, as you mentioned, the infrastructure and all the things that you were weighing back and forth for the different scenarios and different options that we had. And then there's of course many decision makers also, and there's a lot of presentations on what is the pros and cons and so on. So those were very exciting times, and I remember when it was finally decided internally Volvo, and it was a big secret, and then it was going to be presented to the Slovak state, and the happiness that of course the government at that time that had worked so hard, and you were one of them, of course must have felt that yes, we made it, and I think the feeling was mutual. there was a happiness on both sides. And then there was all like the signing ceremonies and things like that. And I remember us being here in Košice. The main signing ceremony was in Bratislava, and I was not part of it, but we had one here in Košice, and we were the whole team here, and we were all excited, and it was everything. But the funny thing was that we were, once you have the selection phase, we were so focused on moving into the next phase, which is the implementation phase. So we had already booked up all meetings, so we almost didn't have time to celebrate. It was almost like, why do we have this banquet here? We have to do some work here, and so on. So looking back at it, it's more of a fun thing, but that's a little bit what we are like human beings. You go for the next phase, and the team gets really excited about it. So, but I think there is lots of good memories from that period, as you say, when because it's a milestone.
The same for me, and then for our
yeah.
team, I have to admit, and speaking for many of my colleagues not being here today, and still keeping in chronologically somehow during last year and a half. You personally visited Slovakia many times. You are coming here every month, maybe even more often. And you've been in touch with many of our institutions, ministries, Valaliky Industrial Park, SARIO, many other ministries, and also industrial leaders. And how do you evaluate this period and us, actually? Do you see a universal support of your project everywhere you come, or maybe you already heard also some critical voices or anything like that?
In general, I must say, of course, we are very privileged because we're such a huge investment project, and we definitely feel that we are prioritized, and people are very supportive and listening to us all the time. So that is something that we are very positive about. And of course, everything is, you come from different backgrounds sometimes, and I think it's important to talk to each other and say, okay, what are our priorities? What are the Slovak state priorities? Is there any deviations, or is it just that we say the same thing with different things? So I think we are trying to take as much time as possible also to meet with these people, because everyone is listening and it's always good discussions, and we try to say, okay, this is what we would like, this is what you would like, maybe we can do it this way, and then we try to find solutions for it. And I think that is good. And what I think we also try to promote, which is always sometimes difficult when you have governments that are also changing very often and so on, there's new people in power and so on. I think it's very important to put a strategy and to agree on what is our current position with whatever it is that we want to improve and develop. Because of course you cannot jump from where you are today to something wanted position in a day. You need to have a plan. But if you can agree on, yes, this is where we are and this is where we want to go, and you can agree on that plan, and hopefully that plan can also stay if there is a change of government or change of authorities and so on. And I think that is something that we are trying to do, and we're trying not to make it our plan, but to make it the Slovak plan, because we're in it together. And I think this is a concept that is working, and of course there are obstacles sometimes, but in general there is a good faith in what everyone is doing. So
okay, happy to hear that, and that was very, very nicely said. Yuri, very similar question to you. You also encountered many Slovak institutions, people. You are not Slovak originally. You are not living actually here in Slovakia. You are living in Prague, if I'm not mistaken. But of course, because you are head of EPAM Slovakia as well, you have to travel pretty often to Bratislava, Košice, to Slovakia in general. So what is your take on our... Let's make it firstly personal, and then maybe from the business point of view.
Okay. It's always a pleasure to hear from the colleagues from other companies how they enjoy being for many years in the one company, and they don't say that they do the same job. I have a pleasure to share this experience in EPAM as well. I'm there for more than 12 years, and I can't remember the year that was same as the year before when you join the stock market, then when you join the S&P 500 team. when you open the new locations and you meet the other cultures, people. So moving from the project manager position to a position of country head gives you more like vision on the people, ideas, the plans, how we can do it together. And in Slovakia, that was one of my interesting experiences as living in Prague. And then when we joined the venture to start growing the presence in Slovakia, meet our global clients here as well, and to start working together in the industry, I understood that the people are so much friendly and open for the business of the startup initiatives. People are happy to work in the big enterprise projects. So I really met this openness, and I'm more than grateful for them that they supported our initiatives. What is happening around the industry and how we integrate it, of course, you helped us a lot. I would say that when you have the contacts where you can discuss the business needs and share directly how we can help, what can be done from the Slovak institution side, the transparency that we have, it's really appreciated. From the side of what we have achieved, I think that it is one of the most fast-growing companies in EPAM that we have opened for the last years. We have the big industry, population across the regions and geography, but we never had the plans to grow in thousands when it's just for the size. The same, our competitors, they have hundreds of thousands people. And EPAM still stays as the big company. On the other side, it still feels like a startup culture when you can share ideas. You can share the vision that you have, and somebody will support you to make it happen. Same we met when we started to work with the government in Slovakia. We shared our ideas, we shared what can be done, and when after 6 or 9 months, we have found out that yes, it works. We brought the new talents, and still I see that there is the big room for that. But we have really great platform for now to start from.
Yeah, understood. And we all know that this discussion will be recorded. There will be a podcast, etc., etc. I'm not sure whether there is any potential investor here in the audience, but if someone in the future will watch this video and then or hear it as a podcast, what would be your recommendations? And there will be the same question for you then. The recommendation or advice for any company, maybe considering Slovakia as a potential business destination, either in industry or in IT sector. What are the biggest advantages, and on the other hand, the biggest challenges or caveats? Looking to Slovakia and precisely to Eastern Slovakia, maybe being in Košice.
From my perspective, being the people manager, and I have the big team, and from year to year, you feel that the company is the people that you work with. It's not the name of the company or laptops or hardware, it's the people. And if some guys still think Slovakia is the good direction to invest and grow, I think definitely yes. Because the diversity of skills that we can meet on the market is quite huge. People have the opportunities to grow and to get the skills that are top-notch in technology and business. We have the great examples how our global partners develop their strategic projects from Slovakia. We continue to present the Slovakia as the region from EPAM side on the global level. When the clients think that there are regions where it's not safe for their business, or they don't feel that they're ready to invest in the regions when they can't have this support from the government and local people, the people that can be joined from other countries to bring the experience they have from geography or other industry. And in Slovakia, it is definitely there, especially in this area. There is great support from the government we have, and we didn't have the lack of talents here that would support the needs to grow our business, and not only the great people, but for us it's important that people will have the cultural and values that EPAM has as the company. And for now, after these few years of growing, we see that more and more big players on the global market understand this as well. But being like the first guys that bring this idea globally, it's always the pleasure. And now I feel how it works, because more and more names are coming here. And based on our experience of other companies that did this, it works. It works to invest. There is no, I would say, blockers that can be discussed. And the atmosphere is really the business-driven and friendly. I have only the positive feedbacks, how to open the new country here, how to run it, because I have experiences in many locations. And I would say that in Slovakia it was smooth, friendly, and quick. It was really quick.
Again, happy to hear that, and maybe it's too positive for someone listening to us from the audience, and then maybe that's a lesson learned somehow, that the foreigners, if I may say so, see us more positive than we do. Very similar question also to you, and maybe towards your suppliers who are expected to follow your investments to Eastern Slovakia, and to hold this region. What are your recommendations or advices for them when they want to open up their very first facility or subsidiary here in Slovakia?
Yeah. Now it's of course you can look into what we did, etc. And one thing, we got a lot of help through SARIO when we started up, and being a big investment, we also, as mentioned in the previous speech, also we have had a lot of help from Valaliki Industrial Park, which has been the body of the Minister of Economy, in helping us out, and that has given us an insight, like a slow start, because I would say we are still learning. We have only seen the beginning of this journey, and how difficult or how easy it might be. So that is one thing. But also for our suppliers, I think definitely they could have the same type of help through SARIO, through different types of things. Of course, we can probably be a bit of a help also, being here. But I think also for the major automotive suppliers, a lot of them, they have more experience than we, Volvo Cars, have of establishing themselves in different countries and so on. They are quite international, global these days. So many of them could probably teach us one or two things also. But I think in general, what these investors or our suppliers, they look for if they put their plant here in Košice, or if they put it somewhere else and ship the parts, etc. There are some qualifiers that are important for everyone when they establish themselves, maybe coming in with foreigners. And it could be things like schools, international schools, public transport possibilities, access to the flight, to the airports. There are housing, if you're building like a big establishment, as we are, employing a lot of people and kind of changing the region as such. They need to live somewhere. Where do they live? How do you get all the housing approved that the investors can build, and developers? Things like this is also very important things, and I think together we, as investors coming in, can probably make a difference here also, and helping out in making this like infrastructure that we need. As you mentioned, the people, it's everything about the people in the end, and if they have a good place to live, if it's practical for them, they will end up here, and they will like it, and they will stay and not move on, etc., etc. So I think there is many things that can combine and be a success factor over time. But I think it's important to have that strategy from the authorities and government to see that.
I'm afraid that no questions are coming, and they won't be coming because the QR code you need to scan is right behind us. So,
I mean, the way
so maybe we will try to figure it out somehow with the organizers, and if not, maybe then just stop by here and then ask the questions to Yuri and Bjorn if there will be enough time for that. But don't worry, I still have several questions, so we are okay, and maybe they can put it larger or higher on the screen, and to make sure for you that you can really scan this QR code. Nevertheless.
Yes.
The last question was mainly for a foreign audience, and now something for the representatives of the domestic local companies, potential suppliers. Many of them came today to meet your purchasers. You have your dedicated spaces here during these 2 days, and they came for B2B meetings with your guys. We at SARIO also ran a massive campaign where more than 400 or 500 companies registered, and then this was forwarded to Volvo Cars procurement team. And how do you see the readiness of the Slovak industrial ecosystem for the 5th car OEM in Slovakia? Because we know the numbers by heart. There is more than 350 car suppliers, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. There are several companies in process optimization, robotization, etc., etc. Can you maybe compare it? And thanks to your vast experience, you can compare it also maybe to Sweden or to Belgium somehow? Or in what areas are we ahead and where we still lag behind?
Well, as I said before, also I'll probably know more in a couple of years when we really have to try the ecosystem exactly. But I think in general, as you mentioned, we're the 5th OEM coming into Slovakia, meaning that there is already 4 big OEMs here, and being such a small country, it's quite amazing. And so the ecosystem that you're talking about for automotive, it's already here. It's definitely already here. There's many suppliers and things, and also in the surrounding countries like Czech Republic and Hungary and so on. There is many Poland, yes, etc., etc. So the region is as such is very automotive. However, maybe Eastern Slovakia is not yet so automotive. So I think the big challenge is to use this ecosystem that is so close by and kind of transfer it into Eastern Slovakia in a nice way. And I think there is all the possibilities in the world to do that, having it all so close and just expanding it. So that is a little bit our hope, that we can use this already existing one and build on it.
Right. And yeah, believe me, speaking of SARIO, we are doing our best really to bring these investments, as many as investors, to Eastern Slovakia and to, as I mentioned, less or least developed regions of our country. And again, I have to say it is going to be easier task with having such a large brand and brands here in Košice and in Eastern Slovakia. That was about the industrial part. Now maybe on IT, given the presence of EPAM systems here, where do you see the most potential maybe to collaborate with existing companies, not only in car parts, but also in software, for example, or in R&D? Maybe collaboration with universities. We can come to that. So how do you see the preparedness of this part of the country from this perspective? Let's say software, not hardware, to put it this way.
No, as you could hear in Per's presentation before, when we're not anymore building cars the old-fashioned way. We're building computers on wheels.
Right.
And also we're trying also to make our production facilities much more optimized and much more sensors and different types of things that helps us in building the cars in the best way and the cheapest way and most environmental friendly way, etc., etc. So I think the whole world it's all IT nowadays, digital. It's the solution to not everything but a lot of things. And I think the success factors are the better you are in actually applying those things into your operation. If you're skilled with that and do it in the right way, that's a business opportunity. So for us, we are very happy that that Košice area is like an IT, the IT valley and the things like that, because I think we're gonna benefit a lot from that over the years. And also, as we mentioned, building this as an interesting place to live, that you have production and you have development within IT. It's an ecosystem which is bigger than just the production plant. And then you mentioned also the university being part of this. Of course, that will feed a lot of competence into the IT world, but hopefully also to us in the application world, if we put it that way.
You are also, if I'm not mistaken, part of Košice IT Valley already, as an IPAM Slovakia. And then what about collaboration with the universities, either technical university here in Košice or other universities in Slovakia?
This is always, it happens always. I would say there is no way that it's done without the junior talents, the talents from the universities, that we start to grow the top technology from the beginning. And as the business leaders in the industries, we see what are the needs across and understand how we can support the fast growth on the talents, because there is no need to educate people for some old or legacy technologies. The IT sphere is changed so fast, and in the company, firstly, we invest that in our talents, and then we can support our clients in the faster changes in the digital world, because clients are experts in different business domains, and we partnership with them to accelerate their transformations. For now, there's so many AI tools and frameworks being developed, and how to navigate across that area, how to understand what's worth to invest, and the investments are quite huge for the businesses. So we do it ourselves together, and then build the frameworks how to run it. And same, we share this expertise, experience to the new joiners we have. We have the, I would say, the biggest university inside of IPAM, and same, we propose these educational programs outside. And local universities, this is the initial stage for the guys that will be the top managers in the companies. There will be the project managers, engineers, architects. And when we share on their beginning of their, I would say, higher educational career, what are the opportunities they have in their life, they can start hundreds of careers. So we help not only from IT side, but we provide the vision on the business sides as well. So many people that join the collaboration of the IT courses that we do, most of them, of course, stay in IT, but I see the majority of guys that move to business IT side, and they enjoy there more because they have individual skills of business development or soft skills that are more interesting for them. So this is part of our, I would say, global programs. We integrate this like in all countries, and Slovakia as one of our strategic regions as well. So for now, we don't have junior programs until we have to build the core teams. I think we discussed some time ago that we are growing our locations organically to understand the needs of people, the business needs together. I may confirm that we have really, really low attrition in IPAM Slovakia for the last years. Unfortunately, or fortunately, we can grow in hundreds of people per year, but it all depends on the needs. So we are more than open and welcome to integrate together and grow the talents for the local business needs, and we will do our best to support the programs. We have experts and provide all the materials to the universities.
Yeah, and regarding people, I have one extra question for you, and then we can come also to the questions from the audience we can see already. We actually firstly met, and I believe it was last year. It was in spring during the negotiations with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and then other ministries, when we discussed the project of swift relocation of IT experts, mostly from Russia and Belarus, potentially and relocating them to your existing facilities in Slovakia and in the European Union in general. And Afterwards, Slovak government adopted a new regulation which gives a national visa to IT experts, and not only in IT, but to qualified employees, and together with their relatives. It is known Regulation 269 from 2022, for those who don't know. And how do you evaluate this process? You already was very positive. You were very positive about Slovak government and the general support. However, this was very topical at that time, and also very specific thing and measure how Slovakia, if I be that general, help to your company and also to all other companies. So how do you see this process, and maybe how many expats and IT experts you got through this scheme from the third countries, because this is not only towards Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, but to all third country nationals?
Yeah, this was the great achievement, I think, not only on only Slovak market business, but generally in Europe, because this was one of the best projects that can allow top talents across outside EU to find the opportunities and bring the diversity into the local business and expertise in the IT area. We, as the global company, have the clients across I would say all the geographies around the world, and the talents that proved that they have expertise in the domain knowledge in the top technology areas. We didn't want to lose them, as they were moving out from Belarus and from Russia, and even from other countries as well. So they asked us if we can support them, and they would be grateful to grow. As I mentioned about the expertise there they have, they're happy to be mentors and other. Thanks to this program, there is no doubt that it helped us to accelerate the local presence and have the senior team faster than it could be if we grow it from the levels. So we have relocated, I think, altogether about 98 or about 100 people from IT plus their family members. Most of them are from IT as well, but some of them, they work in the healthcare industry, and they see the great examples how people are being integrated with their families together, not only our employee, but their husbands and wives, how they joined the clinics and other like businesses, not IT. So still this program gives us the chance to relocate from the third-party countries, from Turkey, from Georgia, from Kazakhstan, and I see the integration works well. So it brought the huge diversity in the skills and domains. Now when we have these core teams from different stacks and expertise, we are faster to grow each or another business. So mostly every week we are meeting the new clients in Slovakia locally that are global clients, but they have presence here, and they say, oh, Ipam, you're in Slovakia, can we do it together? So it is the great pleasure to hear this, to show it. So on our experience, when we started this program, as I told their time, that when we are like the first guys who initiate, but then other businesses see the need as well, because they have top talents in different countries across the world. And if government support these fast-track relocations, they can bring their best talents for a year, for 2 years, to grow the local presence, to show, to integrate, and it works. So thanks to this program, we have integrated EPAM Slovakia very quickly in the global network, and now our clients know about that. So it works both ways. They bring other like positions here, not only IT, because they grow their businesses, like core businesses like healthcare, for example, or automotive. And from our side, we continue to grow our IT presence. So it's the long run is just started.
Excellent. Excellent. And yeah, as you mentioned, this is open to every company who already has branch abroad in the third country. So it's a relocation. It must be your employee. It was employee of IPAM Russia or Belarus in Minsk and in St. Petersburg, and then relocated here. So it is also potential for Volvo Cars and for many other companies. And this was really a success story of last year in this immigration policy, and especially for people in IT, but not only. Okay, coming to the questions, I believe that some of them are, or all of them maybe, are directed to Volvo Cars and to you, Bjorn. So I will go. Maybe I will take the third one. What are your opinions about hydrogen power in personal transportation? We know that all your cars produced in Košice are going to be electric. What about the future of hydrogen power?
Don't take my answer as being Volvo's answer. Take it as my personal, because. But the general thing is, it's room for everything. It's room for hydrogen, electric. I don't think we really know exactly which will be the final solution. And I think they will exist in parallel. Of course, we are also within Volvo Cars looking at the hydrogen part. Everyone is doing that, and no one wants to exclude anything from the table. So I definitely think there is a future for hydrogen, absolutely, in parallel with many other solutions.
Yeah, thank you, and then feel free to keep it very, very simple and short, the answers. Another question, similar kind of, is if you are going to be fully electric, what are your batteries going to be made of?
Ooh, this is also
more about chemistry.
Yeah, but you can say that battery business is a changing business. It's developing all the time, and there is all types of different types of batteries, and also within the Volvo portfolio we have different variants, and I am not well enough read up on it to say exactly where we are right now on which way we are putting the most bet on, but this is like the hydrogen. It coexists different solutions.
I will take maybe one more question. This is yes/no question. If it's not confidential, Thomas asking, has EU Commission already approved state aid for Volvo?
No, it's not approved yet, and these things take normally a lot of time. The applications are handed in, and there are teams from the Slovak state and the Volvo side and European Commission working together on this, so I'm sure that will be resolved.
I like the question from Juraj from Košice Airport, for both gentlemen, actually, for Yuri as well. To what extent was the air accessibility of Košice important for you during the decision-making process, whether to invest here or not?
Yes, it was important. It's of course not the biggest airport in the world, and actually one of the promises that we had also in this investment phase was that looking into the possibility to have a direct flight to Göteborg in Sweden. Otherwise, it's not the perfect route from Sweden either to get here.
That's right. That's right. Yuri.
For me, it was nice. I used to have to fly from the smaller airports, and this time when I have arrived, I was looking on the airport, and it feels like you go to your hometown. That it's comes as BU. Like the flights are so well developed. I mean, we have colleagues from London that come here quite often, sometimes even often than me, because it is one of the, I would say, the only way how we can meet together, all together. I mean, our clients, people here in Košice quickly, and the airport is the area where more business comes and the airport needs will grow. So I think the growth will come later, but definitely it's for sure one of the most important things.
Yeah. It's a qualifier for the area, so the better that gets, the more investors you get here.
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you very much, gentlemen. The time allocated for our panel discussion has quickly come to an end. It was very enriching, very interesting, and then fruitful for me, and I believe that also for everyone in the audience as well. So let me once again thank to you both, my distinguished guests, Juri Suchovi from EPAM, and Bjorn Helden from Volvo Cars Košice, and we all together wish you very nice rest of this conference day and of the whole Slovakia Tech 2023 Expo and Forum. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.